So in this tutorial, I'm going to take a look at track mattes in Adobe After Effects. So let's start with a new composition, 1920 by 1080. 3 minutes is a bit too long for this one, so I'm going to make it, let's say, 15 seconds. And now I want the background to see what we're doing more clearly, and the shortcut for that one is Ctrl-Command-Y. Let's keep it blue. And let's call it background. And I'm going to lock it so that I don't mess around with it. Next thing I need is a text. So let's make a text. And then make sure the text is aligned horizontally and vertically. If this align window isn't visible, you can go to Window and then choose Align. Now that I have my text and my text is aligned, I want to use my track matte. And to be able to do so, I will have to create a shape. So I'm going to create a rectangle on top of my text. The color doesn't matter. Just make a rectangle on top of your text. I'm going to rename it Rectangle Track Matte. And now you have to make sure that it's on top of your text, because what a track matte actually does is it sort of carves out a portion of a layer, exposing the layer beneath it, and you will see what I mean in just a second. Make sure your shape is above your text, and then in the text you have the track matte option here. If that isn't visible, you will have a button here below here, which is called Toggle Switches mode, and then you will have the track matte visible. And here in the track matte, we're going to choose a rectangle track matte or whatever you named it. And as you can see now, the rectangle has disappeared and your text is visible again. And if I now, with my selection tool, move my text around, and this is exactly what a track matte does. It hides it hides the layer beneath it when it's not inside of it, if I'm saying that correctly. But yeah, I'm going to align that one again. That's basically it for the track matte, how you can make a track matte and how you can use it, but I want to create an animation with it. And let's say that I want my text to appear from left to right, and I want it to be visible on 3 seconds, I think will be okay. And then we're going to animate the position. So select your text layer. You can open the layer and then go to transform, which gives you all the transform options, or you can select your layer and then press P, which gives you the position option. And then we're going to click the stopwatch because I want my text to be here and visible at 3 seconds. I'm going to go back to the beginning, and then I'm going to drag my text, holding my shift key so it stays aligned. And I'm going to drag it to the left so it appears from left to right. As you can see now, the text slowly appears, and it's maybe a bit too slow, so let's make it visible at 2 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to select both my keyframes, press F9 to easy ease them, and then go into my graph editor to give them a sort of nice pop. And if you don't see this when you open the graph editor, you can right click it because it might be on something else. It's usually quite often is on edit value graph. That's not what we want. We want to edit the speed graph. Now I'm going to select my keyframes here, and then I want my pop to happen a bit towards the end. So as you can see, that's what it does. You can make your pop happen in the middle. You can play around with that. So now I have my animation, I have my texts, I have my track matte, but I want my text to appear from a line because that's an animation you often see, and I just want to recreate it and show you how you can do that. So I'm going to take my pen tool and make sure you don't have anything selected here, because otherwise you won't get the the stroke itself. I'm going to make a stroke with my pen tool. And then it has stroke width 20, which I'm okay with. And as you can see here, it's a separate stroke shape layer, which if you have something selected, it won't be a separate shape layer. And we want it to be a separate shape layer for this one. I'm going to call it line. Now I want my text to appear from behind the line, which it already does, but I also want my line to not constantly be visible. So the thing we can use in After Effects for that is a trim path. And so with my line selected, I'm going to open my layer, and then I'm going to click Add and choose Trim Paths. And now my text is fully visible, and in the trim paths, I'm going to make a keyframe for the start and the end of my line. And then I'm going back to the beginning, and here I'm going to put my start at 50%. And as you can see, it halves the line. I'm going to make the end also 50%. And let's see. Okay, so the text appears a bit too soon. Let's say it should start appearing from here. Maybe that's too... Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, I'm going to let the text start appearing from somewhere here. And there we have our text. We have our trim paths. We have our line. I'm going to easy ease those keyframes. I don't want my line to stay visible, so I'm going to go to here. And if I want my line to also disappear, I'm going to copy paste my beginning frame. And then as you can see here, my line disappears. And you can add a motion blur to that line. You can trim your line, your layer to where you want it to be, like this. Or you can select layer and then you can put your timeline indicator where you want it to be and use the shortcut Alt or Option right bracket, which also trims your layer, and Alt Option left bracket if you want to trim from the left. So, and then your text is visible, your line has disappeared. And I think it's sort of finished now. So that was a quick video on how to use track mattes in Adobe After Effects, what they are, what they do, how to use them, how to incorporate them. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you liked this video. Be sure to press the thumbs up if you did. Press that subscribe button if you want to see more of my videos going live every Wednesday and Thursday. Saying that, this track matte animation will be used in my next tutorial going live tomorrow on how you can use pre-compositions in After Effects and what they do. So be sure to check that one out also. And for now, stay creative. Thank you for spending your time with me and watching this video. And I hope to see you in the next one.